What up? Your boy MC Shadow coming from the dojo. Wanted to talk about today, electoral day, presidency. So, you know what I mean? Talk about the whole presidency and everything like that. Now, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, check out the playlist on top and everything like that. Now, I'm just put it like this. Honestly, probably the only channel that won't bullshit today and gonna spit the truth and nothing but the truth. And I'm not a hater. I'm not here to, spread hate or nothing like that. I'm only here to be telling the truth, to be honest. You know what I mean? Now, it's the voting, right? So Biden's ahead right now. Trump's losing, obviously. Um, now, people have to understand one thing and understand this. Especially if you watch my channel, you should understand this. Um, if Biden does win, let's say if he does win, that doesn't automatically mean the kids will be left out of the cages. Uh, People will be able to marry whoever the hell they want. It will. People will stop getting shot in the streets by law enforcement. People. It doesn't mean none of that. All it really means is you have a new president. That's it. The hatred is not gonna go nowhere. The way people feel is not gonna go nowhere. None of that's gonna change. And like I said, I don't mean to say, man, let me turn it off. Nobody I like playing my oldies and everything, but it's a serious topic. So now, see, people have to understand one thing. Just because we have a new presidency doesn't mean that law enforcement carrying that firearm is going to feel a different way about somebody, when shit cracks. Just because we have a new presidency doesn't mean that people in a certain area are going to feel differently about another set of people. Because we have a new presidency does not mean that automatically Joe Biden's going to knock down the door in the border and be like, let all these kids go. That's not how it works, bro. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be the one that bursts his bubbles or anything like that, or I'm a hater or I'm negative. I'm just letting you guys know how society works, how politics work. It's a process. Everything's a process, and with so much shit that's lined up right now for, let's say if Biden does win, he's gonna have a stack of shit that he has to take care. So before he could even hit any of that, that's why a presidency always gets 4 terms. 4 years. It takes a long time to fix all the problems that people want to get fixed. It just doesn't happen overnight. Just because all of a sudden we have a new presidency doesn't mean that the list of people for ICE, to hit, to deport doesn't mean it's gonna stop or any of that. It doesn't mean none of that, you know. And I think people get that sometimes confused and think like, oh, we have a new president, so everything like that, like a light switch. No, it's not how politics work at all. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, let's say if Biden's our president, but the Republicans run the Senate, your bills are still not gonna get passed. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I tell people that the goal should be like focus more on how you raise kids and how you raise generation and how you treat one another and stuff like that. That should be what the focus is on, because this, no matter who you voted for, whatever, or their views or whatever, it won't change a damn thing if a group of people still feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a antidote or a cure that's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even a solution, to be honest with you. That is not the problem. That's what I've been saying for a while, that the left, the right, and all of this is just a distraction. Those are not the problems. People want to just be able to focus the problems on this and that, but that's not the problem. You know what I mean? A majority of the problem is, looking in the mirror, but that's something that people are not going to want to say or do or anything like that, so they want to play, it's so easy to blame politics. Like, oh, look, now we have a new president. Now it's going to get fixed. How many times have people been saying that for years and years, and it never does, because that's not the problem. Oh, no, let's change the seating. Maybe it's the governor. No, those are not the problems. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to burst no one's bubble. I'm trying to be a hater. Nah, this was negative or have faith. No, it's not that I don't have faith or nothing. That's not how it's structured to work. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? It's not that like, oh, I'm negative or I just lost hope in politics. No, that is not how it works. That's literally how it's not. It's not how it works. You know, people could say like, oh, what do you know about politics and stuff like that? Oh, you're just a gang member. You just say, no, these are the facts. But I'm just letting them know. It don't phase me. Like, for example, This is an example. My son says, "Oh, but people have said Trump is bad. Teachers say that Trump is bad. Is he as bad as people say he is?" And I tell my son, well, look at the last past 4 years. Has your life changed, or has it been bad in those 4 years? And he says no. And I go, okay, exactly. You know what I mean? We still have everything under control, whatever. It's because we work hard for, me and my wife, we work hard for, we go out there and we hit the grind and everything. And even though, yeah, we should get paid more and everything, we still gotta hit we still gotta, do what we gotta do. You know what I mean? We still make sure we give our kids you know what I mean? So they're being raised like if everything's all good, and we have it good, you know what I mean? It's a hard grind and everything like that. And yeah, wouldn't it be wishing everything? But you just gotta be in your head. You just gotta see it like, man, you know, I'm just blessed, to have a holiday and to, like to do, you know what I mean? Like, going out there and finding a way how to get that income, and no, not by selling drugs or robbing people. You know what I mean? But you know, like hitting the grind, and yeah, I wish I could just be like kicking back and getting money a millionaire, but hey, if we gotta work, homie. You know what I mean? It makes you appreciate life better. That's one thing I say about the struggle. The struggle shouldn't be looked down upon. It makes you appreciate life. Makes you appreciate what you have. You know what I mean? You know, it it strengthens you. It teaches you. There's a lot of lessons in the struggles. Some people that have it easy, whatever, don't appreciate what they have. You know what I mean? Because it's just they never had to grind for it or struggle for it. You know what I mean? So they don't appreciate it. When somebody does, that's why mom, loves her child, like so much. You know what I mean? All the agonizing pain, and then to get her trophy, pues. You know what I mean? And I know there's some moms that are, you know what I'm saying, but this is just as an example, pues. You know what I'm saying? It's more like people didn't understand the psychology behind it, and people's mental and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I always say that's the key on facing a majority of the problems. In law enforcement, in education, and a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of teachers are not properly trained. Psychologically to understand a child. That's why they get frustrated, think that the child's not learning, or think that he's just running amok because they don't understand, the child, and why he's behaving that way and everything like that. I'm not saying that they have to be a full blown scholar on it and stuff like that, but to give some education, on it. That way, the teacher will understand, why the child is, behaving that way and stuff like that, you know. And same goes for law enforcement. If you properly train them to understand, persons, mental and this scenario and stuff like that, and to keep their composure, mentally, give them that training and stuff like that. They'll be able to handle situations and scenarios better than what how they've been handling them. It's understanding somebody. If even us as everyday people, instead of snapping and being like, "Oh man, this fool's tripping," like understand, like maybe why this fool's, behaving that way, just by looking at his demeanor and his actions and what he's saying, like, okay, you know what, nah, this fool ain't tripping on me. This was just because, woo woo. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that that's the answer for everything either. I'm just saying some understanding will help, the problems a little bit better, So it's not having a new presidency and everything's gonna fix everything and whoa, it's not. Man? As a matter of fact, I guarantee you, whether Trump is in office or whether Biden is gonna be the new president, whatever's, come back to this video about 3 months later, shit, maybe let's say 2 years later, and everything's gonna be still the same as it is now. I guarantee you, hardly no difference at all. You know what I mean? Here's another thing: whether the person you voted for wins or loses, it's cool. You tried. Accept it. You know, it's just how it is. It doesn't mean you lost. It doesn't mean you win. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Because it's not gonna make it no difference either way. You know what I mean? Like people have to understand that this one is more deeper than just a presidency. It goes beyond that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. You know, electoral day. Don't mean to burst the bubble or the barrel or bad news or nothing like that. I'm only here to tell the truth and bring it real. That's your shadow. We out.